headed up to Turkey Bay, land between the lakes this afternoon. It's Thursday afternoon, about 4:30, and we will be leaving from there tomorrow up towards Mammoth Cave, Kentucky, up towards the central part of the state for Saturday, Sunday, head back to Memphis sometime on Sunday. Should be a good trip. Hope y'all enjoy the video.
Go through here.
Just a few miles outside of Brownsville, Tennessee. The highway that we're on was the first state highway for the state of Tennessee. I think it was Highway 1 or State Highway 1. It went from Memphis to Bristol, Tennessee, and it was really cool. Some of the scenes that you see, the old buildings, old gas stations, and mom and pop restaurants on some of these back road highways that are still in business, or you see remnants of old gas stations from the 40s or 50s where the buildings have either been repurposed or sitting there abandoned. It's really cool. As much as I hate I-40, I wish that I had taken this route before now. I've taken parts of this in different parts of the state, but not coming out of Memphis, so it's really cool. Most people say it's nothing very spectacular about an old two-lane highway, but it's just some of the scenes and the old buildings and things that you see that remind you of a past time, the good old days, so to speak. That's weird.
No, it seemed like when we were going up to speed, it never did it, but then as soon as we got into town and slowed down, it started doing it again.
And it wasn't synced with his taillights. I could see him lighting up the back of your Jeep, but the taillights were staying on, then they'd go off.
Parking lights. Taillights are on, the headlights are on now. Now the start doing it again. What else?
Strange.
Staying on right now. Yeah, quiet again.
Well, we stopped here for a second to see what was going on with the headlights on the Bronco. Seemed to have a little bit of a gremlin in his switch. I'm not sure what he did, but they seem to be working now, so we're back on the road.
Looks like we can go back over here. There's a whole bunch of areas back there in the tables and stuff. So
okay, so I couldn't see the table.
Yeah, there's tables and stuff back here, so I reckon we could probably. But the thing is, I don't see any campsite numbers. So how do you?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Just go there and pay in the morning. They come down here. Well, we were going to, but we don't know how to do it.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
I mean, I don't think we're going to get messed with down here.
I'm going to let Matt, number 2, Bronco Matt, pull in with his trailer, get situated, And then Jeep Matt and the Overland curmudgeon will find a spot for our ground tents. It is about 8:25. We drove the back road highways, 2-lane highways here. It took us about 4 hours. If we had gone I-40 to Jackson, Tennessee, and up the, the more traveled areas, it would have been about 2.5, 2:45. So really wasn't that bad. Average speed, I think, on Gaia was maybe 50. And I'm getting 28.2 miles per gallon. Gotta love a 4-cylinder turbo Jeep. All right, we're gonna get camp set up. It's just crazy. We are leaving our campsite at Turkey Bay Off-Road Park here, land between the lakes. I'm gonna insert a picture here of the current conditions at Mammoth Cave. A little bit of a tropical storm activity going on there, but sun is shining here. We're headed to the visitor center to pay for our campsite from last night. We got in pretty late, and the instructions weren't all that clear at the kiosk, so we figured we'll wait, pay this morning when they open up, and get our pass for the trails, and we'll get to it. We had a good night at camp. Temperatures actually rose a little bit. It was about 51, 52 when we got in last night, and when I got out of the tent this morning, went on a little hike, it was about 62 degrees. So it's not too bad. But when we get to Mammoth Cave area this afternoon, the temperatures are supposed to be plummeting into the night. I think maybe tonight low 30s, maybe upper 20s, and then tomorrow night it's supposed to get down to 24, 25, so that should be a lot of fun. Well, we've aired down, fueled up, paid our permit fee, and we're skirting the edge of Turkey Bay right now, seeing what we can get into. I told Jeep Matt, that I'm going to be tail gunner today. usually when I'm on a ride, I'm leading. So it's nice to just follow the leader for a change. It's been a while since I've been able to just sit back and follow. So never been here before, but I'm recording my tracks on Gaia, and I will not sell them to any patron supporters, because guess what? I don't have any patron supporters. So get out, find some of this stuff on your own, and have a good time.
Earlier, but I wasn't really sure. I'm going to try to find some kind of marker. You know, there might be a legend on that map, that paper map. It may have it.
got a little tippy for a second there. Heard my fenders rubbing there, flares and the inner liner rubbing on that damn passenger side rear. For whatever reason, that seems like it's always the side that rubs. There it goes again. About getting on the road. We're leaving Turkey Bay Off-Road Park, and we'll be leaving the Land Between the Lakes area here shortly, heading east over to Mammoth Cave. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. We rode the trails. It's a little bit windy today. We drove, about 11, 12 miles. Got a little bit of trail time in, and that I was really concerned because I'm not really a fan of side-by-sides and the people who own them. Sorry if that sounds offensive, but but we really didn't have any issues. I mean, considering the number of side-by-sides that were already there at 9 o'clock this morning on a Friday, I guess with it being a holiday and Veterans Day and all that, there's a lot of people off, but we really didn't have any issues on the trail. We came up on 3 up on the top of a ridge that were kind of pulled off to the side as we pulled through, but that's pretty much the only ones that we saw on the trails that we were on. So that was pretty cool. Didn't have any problems there. Usually when I'm in the Ozarks or Ouachitas, those guys come flying up around a curve, and you don't expect them to, you have to swerve to get out of the way. They act like, they're the only ones there. But we didn't really have that issue today, so that was good. Probably got about a 3-hour drive. It's about 12:30 now. Like I said, Friday, 12:30. Heading to Mammoth Cave, and I believe the place that we'll be camping tonight is Blue Holler Off-Road Park, and so we'll be setting up camp there hopefully before dark. I have a new tent, and it was a little bit frustrating last night. It set up much easier in my living room, or actually I set it up in my bedroom. It was not so easy last night in the dark. So
looks like we're coming into this town called Rossville. Around there.
This is bullshit.
Saturday morning, about 10:30, I left Blue Holler Off-Road Park here about 30 minutes ago. The temperatures are going to be dropping into the 20s tonight. We had a little bit of rain, or a lot of rain, and some sleet, and we got a little bit of snow flurries right now. I decided to call it for the weekend. The 2 Matts and Nathan are going to stay. The trails were too wet to be able to do any trail riding today. They're just soppy and muddy. The tropical depression came through the night before we were here, when we were over at Land Between the Lakes. So had a lot of rain before. The sun was shining yesterday, but a lot of rain before we got here. So I decided to call it. If we couldn't do any trail riding, I'm gonna head back to Memphis and look forward to coming back over here again. It's a beautiful area. I'm at Nolan Dam Spillway area, and it's a beautiful area here, even with the sleet and the snow. But a man's got to know his limits, and I reached mine about 30 degrees in rain. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're not already a subscriber, please consider doing so. And until next time, tread lightly.